Hey everybody, it's Aaron again, and we're back finally with another episode of Feed the Beast. My inventory is full. The hell? I don't really need those on me, I don't think. Do I have enough stuff? Yeah, we'll call it good. So today's episode is going to be a little different. I know this week has been full of different episodes as far as my normal series goes. As I mentioned in my Pixelmon series, this week was E3. And so I figured this time we would talk a little bit about E3. I don't need these. And I'm going to build my house. I went back, you can see I'm using these dark Xylite, Zycordite bricks, which look really cool. I went back to my house, my former house, and picked those up. You'll also notice I have a bunch of basalt brick. My buddy Nick informed me that he has a bunch, or had a basalt area over by his house, so I decided I would head over there and did that the other day. I think we're gonna go ahead and turn on our stuff. So when these get warmed up, this actually does output enough energy now with fuel in it. See, it turned green. I know that was something we talked about, but so I'm gonna give you my thoughts on E3 this year. First off, for being a new console generation, I thought it was pretty entertaining. Um, I don't really hide the fact that I've really liked Microsoft better as far as Xbox versus PlayStation in the recent years. That's not to say, like, I owned a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2, and I still play the crap out of games on both of those systems. In fact, 2 years ago, my wife, for my birthday that year, bought me the new super slim PlayStation 2 because I have the old, like, second release version of it that just was dying on me. But I gotta be honest, in my opinion, Microsoft, they with their Xbox One, they kind of got their butts kicked this year. They really got it handed to them, their ass handed to them, to be quite blunt. Sony came out and pretty much blew me away. One of the major selling points for me was the fact that they announced Kingdom Hearts 3. No more other, and it's not one of those weird ones where they're doing one of those weird things. This is straight up Kingdom Hearts 3. Extremely excited for it. There's some other things. Final Fantasy 15. I've been fairly disappointed in the Final Fantasy series the last couple games, to be honest. But uh, I grew up playing a lot of the older ones, and so it's kind of a hard habit to break. But yeah, and in my opinion, anyway, hands down, Sony certainly kicked major butt. Um, Nintendo is they released some more information, as I mentioned, on for the Pokemon X and Y, and I am extremely excited for those games as well. If you didn't catch on to that on my other video, but the thing that is I that made me skeptical, I guess, about the Xbox One was the whole DRM. Basically the same thing that's got pretty much everybody up in arms, really. I'm gonna regret this, but I think I should. I bet I don't have enough blocks anymore to do this, but we'll try it. Uh, yeah. Anyway, so I'm sold on the the PlayStation 4, I guess. That doesn't mean I won't eventually get around to getting an Xbox. I will say that I was pleasantly surprised when they announced the free games that they're doing for the Xbox for the rest of the year. That was pretty neat for having Xbox Gold. I have had Gold forever, and to be honest, I kind of get tired of paying $15 a month to not use it. So, as I'm not into super competitive, damn it, game stuff generally. Uh, there were other things that the Sony PlayStation 4, the indie games that they're bringing to the system. Oh, holy crap! Like that's some impressive stuff. If for those of you who may not have watched some of my older videos, I am a game designer. I have a bachelor's degree in game design. Um, I wasn't gonna bring, in fact, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but related to E3, the game I worked on for my final project in school, game called C3, was actually in the IndieCade showcase this year at E3. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend due to personal life related stuff. A bunch of my buddies are there right now. In fact, Donald and Cass are also members on that team. And that is why I cannot do any series with them this week. Past what I've got recorded for you guys already. So, but I think that anyway, to where I was going to go with this, and I apologize that I kind of got off track there, is that I am a huge supporter of. I don't want to use those at the moment. We'll switch to these. Well, let's use these to mark it so that it stays different. I'll make some more black zirconium or zicordite blocks later. I was extremely excited to see that what they're doing with indie game development, because that's where my interest lies primarily. I would love to get into any AAA studio to do narrative design or something such as that, or I can do about whatever. But that is really an area that I am passionate about, is indie game design, and that was a really exciting thing for me to find out that they were doing that, and kind of how open they're being with indie companies, which Microsoft, from what I understand, has decided they're not going to be as nice to indie companies, which they may probably in truth never have been all that great. I haven't done a lot of reading on that, I guess, but that's certainly what they make it sound like. People who have worked for Microsoft's as an indie company. But anyhow, I also have to say the press conference, if you go and watch it, you can probably find it online at this point, for Sony. Extremely boring first half. Extremely boring. Same crap. The the entertainment center war was waged. And I just personally get so damn tired of that, because who cares? Gamers are the ones primarily interested in the console. I can't imagine they sell that many more. Either of them, either Sony or Xbox, can sell that many more, because it's an entertainment center. But the last major thing, and this was a huge kick in the nuts to Microsoft, was that the new PlayStation here is going to only be $400 instead of $500, which is what Microsoft is charging. And that's a hell of a deal, right? That's a hell of a thing to do. So it's certainly going to be an interesting thing to see what happens. So I will say, one of the things I hope to do here fairly soon. Let's see, do I want to do a roof in here? Yeah, let's do a roof in here. I hope to get together, and Cass, Donald, and myself have discussed this a couple of times. Team Failboat, as we call ourselves nowadays. And we decided we wanted to try to do a podcast where we can kind of talk about game designery things, and I think we're gonna have to finally get that cracking. Uh, we we worked very hard on our game C3, and it ended, like I said, it ended up in the IndieCade showcase. And because of that, we when we discovered that we were going, the game was going to E3, there was all that bunch of extra work that got piled on, and so we haven't had the time to really commit to what we wanted to do with that. But I think that's finally going to happen, and so you guys can kind of see, we'll be able to get a view of at least our opinions as game designers on different things. It won't always be game designer oriented, but I would bet more often than not there'll be something like that going on, and that's just the way it is. So, Nintendo, like I started saying this, Nintendo announced some cool stuff. I haven't read as much about that, unfortunately. As you might imagine, with Pokemon stuff being announced, of course, I'm extremely excited about anything they have to tell me about that. And so I even did my one Pixelmon episode this week, ended up being about that. This is how I make my new roofs, by the way. I decided I liked the way this style looks. At least when I'm using full blocks. The one thing I will comment on that I thought was pretty neat, and probably because I actually played the original Mega Man games, is that Mega Man is coming to the new Smash Brothers for the Smash Brothers Smash Brothers for the Wii U and the 3DS as well, which I thought was pretty neat that they were doing a 3DS port. 'Cause I personally don't own a Wii U, so I wouldn't be able to do much with that at the moment. But the 3DS version is a very large possibility that I'll actually get to play that. But they've added a couple new cast members to the game, which is pretty cool. I heard it rumored that the Wii Fitness lady is one of them. Don't know if that's true or not. But the big one that was really cool, and I have to applaud to some extent for them doing it, is Mega Man. As I kind of mentioned, they're adding Mega Man to the Smash Brothers lineup, and that's really pretty darn cool. Mega Man, I played the original games. I was really young at the time, but I did play the original games, and those games were just awesome. The Mega Man games. It is one of my favorite series. I unfortunately don't, and I have played some of the newer iterations of the series, but not as much as I would have liked. But yes, they are adding Mega Man. It looks like it's the old school Mega Man. It looks like he gets access to all of the crazy boss related powers that he normally would have, which is just fantastic. And so that has me excited, and actually just for that kind of makes me want to play or get a Wii U. They've also announced a new Mario game. I unfortunately have not seen much information about it, as I've been pretty busy, but I try to keep up. If you haven't watched my Pixelmon series, but you like this one, and you're kind of interested in Pokemon, they are adding. They released a long while back, one of the new Pokemon in X and Y was going to be Sylveon, which is an Eevee evolution. And I totally was an idiot here. Whee! Okay, so the cool thing about this is these are supposed to be monster proof. But anyway, and there was a lot of speculation about what it was because none of us really knew, and so it sounds like apparently it is, or it is of the new type that they're adding, which is fairy type Pokemon. And they're changing some of the old Pokemon into part fairy types as well. Basically, anything that was normal and pink, I think, is probably going to be, aside from Gardevoir, who is one of them they announced as well. So there's my big ass house now. It's not done. I've got a lot of stuff I want to do on it. I think my thought here anyway is that I'm going to put my bedroom. The bedroom will be upstairs, and I'm actually going to pimp this area out here with all of my stuff that I need. So, those are the big things from Nintendo anyway. That I know about. Microsoft had some cool things. I kind of mentioned it before. They're giving away a free game now, 2 free games, starting in July, for anybody who has Xbox Live Gold, through the end of December, I believe. And as of right now, anyway, they actually are giving away Fable 3 for free for the same deal, which was fantastic because I really wanted Fable 3. I've always wanted to play Fable 3, but have never been able to because I could never afford to buy the dang thing. But yeah, all in all, it was pretty exciting E3 from what I've seen. Ubisoft, they've got a lot of their cool stuff coming down the pipe. The new Assassin's Creed, which I have not kept super up on, looks pretty darn cool, to be quite honest. Pirate themed Assassin's Creed, that just sounds like a great idea. And so that was one of the big things. They're bringing a new Rayman game out. That's going to be pretty darn cool, it looks like. I've never been much of a Rayman fan, but I certainly wouldn't have problems with becoming one. So, and I know I mentioned this earlier, the DRM stuff, the online stuff, that's what's, I think, really going to cause Sony to win this particular console war for this generation. We'll see what happens. Microsoft has a chance to change some of the crap they're trying to put out, and we'll see if it's enough. But anywho, I think we are going to go ahead and call this an episode. I'll finish checking out my house here. So I've got my house. It may be expanded upon later. You never know. Next time for Feed the Beast, we'll get back on track with what we were doing before. I just thought it would be nice to talk a little bit about E3 and give some of my thoughts on things and how brutally Sony kind of threw the gauntlet at Microsoft this year. And it'll be interesting to see if Microsoft is able to recover or not. Anyway, look forward to new content next week. Check out my. I'm going to be working on the new episode, the episode for my new series for tomorrow. So stay tuned to check that out. It's going to be it's a very opinion based. Oh, damn it. A very opinion based episode for me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed E3. If you're interested in checking out anything about my game, the website will be listed below. It's not really my game. My team's game is probably the proper way to say that. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.